The last thing I want to show is just this little YouTube short I saw of this crazy guy, Kent Hovind, talking about how he thinks video games should not just be like avoided, but he thinks that they should be entirely banned. And I just thought that this was kind of funny, so I figured we would watch it. It's from a YouTuber named Atheist Jr. Goes by AJ. Go check him out if you are interested. He makes really good stuff, and he covers a bunch of this Kent Hovind stuff, which is always very funny.
His reasons that video games should be banned, not that kids should play less of them. They should be banned until they turn 13 years old. Not even one round of Pac-Man, according to Kent.
Number one, physical impairments. They sit around all day and they get fat. Brain damage, sleep deprivation.
It gives you brain damage and sleep deprivation, and it makes you fat. This is what video games do to you.
Aggression, violence. Do you think there's aggression in the video game? Mental illness. They're losing out in school. Poor social relationship.
Poor social. It's just always funny to me. For one, gamers have been shown to have much higher reaction times. Gamers are disproportionately much safer drivers. Like by a lot. It's kind of insane. It's actually really cool because gamers like become acclimated to fast reactions, and then you see like something coming and you can quickly react to it. So actually gamers tend to be much safer drivers, which I find just a little funny, because it works out your brain. It doesn't just work out, something physical. Physicality, I think that this is a concern. Definitely, if you do sit on your ass all day just playing video games, yeah, you're not getting a lot of exercise. It's not good for you. You should get up and move around. Absolutely. But does playing video games make you fat? No, not like exercising and having an unhealthy diet makes you fat. So, it's like saying you shouldn't play any sports because football gives you CTE. It's like, no, there's a safer way to play sports. You don't have to get CTE if you play sports. There's other avenues to go. But it's just the stereotypical quick one-liner of things like that gamers do. He heavily implies like being a gamer also like can make you disproportionately more likely to be like a school banger, if you know what I'm talking about. He implies that constantly because he's part of the same group that thought the Columbine massacre was because they were playing like Grand Theft Auto, even though Grand Theft Auto wasn't like a mainstay game series at that point, which is just bizarre. But anyway,
they are unemployable.
Gamers are unemployable. I will just leave that there. I was playing games constantly and also running a YouTube channel discussing games while I was working in commercial real estate. A very serious, very much a big boy job. And the only reason I left there is because I was making a lot more on YouTube, and I've continued to make a lot more on YouTube. And also because I wanted to spend time with my family, a family I got by socializing and doing things that Kent also suggests are impossible for for children or for gamers to do.
They played games so much, Mama says, "Good morning, son."
Yeah, that's literally never happened. Okay, brain damage? Brain damage. Are you kidding me? So do you have a source for this at all, Kent?
AJ, or Atheist Jr., speaks the truth. He tells...
I don't know who that last guy is. But, yeah, it's really fun. Funnily enough, this is the guy I was working with Modern Day Debate. We were actually going to try to do a debate with him on video games being bad for you. Because he has a very firm stance. Nobody, especially, the youth, nobody should play video games. And I was really excited to start like a debate with him and actually sit down and be like, for one, do you have any studies or research that backs up any of this? Or is all of this just your gut feeling? Turns out all of it's his gut feeling. but also, like, I was excited to talk about all of the examples we have of people who have made lifelong friends through video games, who have met their spouses through video games, people who have been able to stay in contact during COVID lockdowns and things. And I would bring up COVID lockdowns because he's also like, he thinks the whole thing was a conspiracy and the whole thing was fake. And, you know, he's a big anti-vaxxer, all that. So it would be funny to get him started on that. I was really looking forward to it. It was going to be really fun. Yeah, Michael, exactly. It was going to be really cool. It was going to be fun. But he has apparently done a bunch of stuff recently that basically has gotten him banned from a lot of, like, even the hardcore, like, we are a free open platform debate platforms. He's screwed up so often that they don't even want to deal with him now. So maybe it'll happen one day. I don't love the idea of platforming him, but I think it'll be so thoroughly entertaining and funny that it would probably be worth it. Because he also can't go 5 minutes without saying that evolution is fake and is a dumb religion. And then he also just casually throws out all sorts of crazy things like, you know, oh, well, you know, Noah's Ark landed, you know, about 4,000 years ago, and they had all of the dinosaurs on the boat, and they were probably babies, you know. It's like he casually throws out the most, like, hold on, time out. That was like a little insane. Can you explain that a little, please? He just doesn't throw it, you know, he doesn't skip a beat. It'll be really entertaining and really fun, and maybe one day we'll manage it. I wish we could, but you know, at least this year it seems like it was not meant to be. January, I said this year I want to do more collabs, I want to do debates, I want to do stuff like that and really cross over. And I try, you know, I've worked with Maddie, I've worked with Joel Raptor, you know, we've done a lot of stuff, but the debates just haven't been something that's lined up. Part of it, modern day debate, they shifted more and they started doing a lot more debates focused on, like, you know, the standard stuff you would expect, like religion and politics and things. And they sort of deprioritized what I wanted to tackle, which was like, are video games bad for you? Should kids play video games and things? Which, depending on the way that you phrase the question, it's kind of an interesting topic, because it would be like, okay, should kids play video games? Like, if I engage in that debate, then I'm taking the affirmative. I say yes. So I have a positive case to prove then that playing video games would be a good thing to do and would be a net positive. Whereas the opponent, my interlocutor, could just be like, I'm not convinced. Maybe not. But you got to convince me. And that could be relatively interesting. Whereas if we flip it and we say, like, video games should be banned, then Kent has the positive claim. Kent has to defend that, and he has to figure it out. You know, that guy hates gamers and definitely watches Thursday, Friday, Saturday college, and Sunday night football. So unemployable. Yeah, it's just so funny. Like, it's also something like there are some of these. It's not just, to be clear, it's not just like pastors and stuff. It's also people like, you know, Gavin McGinnis, the guy that founded what's it called? Something Boys, Proud Boys. Like, he started that, and he's famously, like, ranted against video games because he debated, like, Destiny, and Destiny plays video games all the time. I think Destiny was playing video games while he was debating Gavin. And Gavin's like, yeah, video games are like a sign of you having no game with the women and stuff like that, you know? It's just, there's all sorts of people that do this, but a lot of the time, yeah, maybe it's just boomers. I think a lot of the time it's just probably that they got frustrated that somebody that they wanted to hang out with, or like a grandson or something, wanted to play video games instead of hang out with crazy grandpa Kent. And so they just assumed it's all terrible and like, no, nobody should ever play video games. It's all terrible. It's awful.